I do what I do because of the voices that I hear cry out to God every night. I do what I do because of what I have found upon this earth. I have not found sweet fruit everywhere, but fruit that has grown ashamed of itself because of the broken promises. They tell you as children that you are special. The dream of a child is to run free and play, to see the wonders of God and ponder them, to be ignorant of everything else but the power of God. But far too many have come before me telling me the stories of them being raped at 9 years old because they was over a friend's house and a teenage boy raped them. Too many of them have come to me and said that they were molested by their father, by a friend of the family. Too many have come to me and said that I was in a classroom and the teacher left and the boy forced his hands down my pants. Too many have come to me and said that they went to parties and somebody must have put something in their drink because they passed out and woke up naked. Too many people have come and said to me that my father raped me and he used to keep a calendar to know when my period came and so that he may not get me pregnant. That the first child I had, they thought was his because of the rape. Too many have come to me and said that the promises of love and faith and obedience has been broken. That the system that must aid them had ignored them. For they carry the shame in their hearts. Yet they confess to me their pain. The reason why they is unworthy to be loved. Because their union between God and them have been broken. Too many have come to me and said that I was abused as a child. Too many have come and said to me that they had no food. Too many have come and said to me that they sat and watched their mother or their father use drugs in front of them. Too many have come and said that they wear underwear with holes in them because their parents do not care. Too many have come to me afraid that they will never step foot out of their communities that's riddled with violence, drugs, prostitution. Many of these young girls who have been turned into women before their time believes that all a man wants is sex. They have never been courted properly. Nobody has wrote them a poem. Nobody has given them gifts of chocolate and other things. Nobody has taken them out on a date. Nobody has ever taken them to dinner. Yet the old and the corrupted and the perverted has taken them to bed to rid them of their purity. Broken promises. Too many have said they watched their father beat their mother and then proceeded to beat them. Too many have told me the story that their father was a deacon in the church, but yet when he came home, he beat them like animals. Too many have said they saw bodies laid out in the street when the school bell rang for them to leave. Too many have the story of being in a classroom and having a drive-by happen. Too many have come to me saying that they don't want to live no more because they're tired of the broken promises. We can no longer stand idly by and do nothing, because those who claim to walk in the footsteps of the Lord are the exact ones that turn their back on the truth, are the exact ones that know their husband is creeping in the other room, the exact ones that know their child is being molested by a family member, a friend of the family, by somebody else. It is the reason why all women have no respect for themselves. It is the reason why they believe the only way to get ahead is by spreading their legs. Education is no longer a means to living a good life. Believing that it is the body that shall give them a seat at the table when they shall have already had one prepared. promises shall be made whole. And those who have broken their promise to care and protect you, those who have violated you, those who have left a scar upon your heart, shall face the wrath of the Father. Now I say this because I am a child of broken promises. I am a child of the motherless and the fatherless. I am a child of the street, not knowing whether I would have a roof over my head that night or not. I was a child that was tortured for the time I was 14 years old to 18. My very first memory is holding a gun in my hand. I was molested. I was neglected. Because I look like my father, I was the whipping pole made to purge my mother's soul. I have no history because my father was locked up for 25 years. So I did not know him until I became a man. My mother fled her family, had no contact with them. So it was just my mother and my sister. And we had to bear the brunt of the storm, going to bed for a year with no food. Going to bed in tears, screaming out to the God that's supposed to hear you. Why me? It wasn't until I was 16 years old that God told me, you keep saying why me, why not me? You are a leader among the sheep. You can see the signs of the time. You have the spirit of discernment. You know what's coming next. But you yet not move. He told me that the kingdom does not break their promises. That what is in the kingdom is unperishable, unmeasurable, that you cannot restrain the power of the conviction of truth, love, and joy. But it says you must remain on the earth for a little while longer. And I stood in the valley of death, and I was not afraid. For when I finally knew the wisdom of God, I was led by still water. He had taken me on a path to be able to leave behind the darkness and lead other people to the still waters, so that they may look into the water and see a reflection of God. So I say to you today, no matter your past, no matter the broken promises, no matter what they say your destiny is, listen not to the doubters, listen not to the critics, but behold for yourself what God can do. Your enemies can sense the lack of confidence, the lack of authority when you speak. The enemy can smell you seeking God. The enemy will give you false advice so that you can fall and tumble farther. This world does not belong to the Father, for it is the heart of corruption. It is the evil that the Father speaks of. It is the dwelling place of sin. It is the reason why he says that when one manifests himself, come into being by his own means, why would he continue to select to live in poverty? It is like Adam and Eve. Why would you choose the choice of having known bitter from sweet, when the Lord that you serve is sweet, when the God you serve only does good? The enemy has bamboozled you. The enemy has lied to you. The enemy has made you into one who would submit yourself to a lesser God. He has taken away your faith and placed doubt in you. He has taken away your heart and placed cold steel into the place where your heart once was. He's working on your mind to erase the truth that God has given you, because he is chasing after your soul, so that the day of judgment your name would not be read in the book of life. So I say to you today, I know that there are broken promises, but for as many broken promises there are angels on their way to lead you away from what has destroyed your spirit. In closing, nothing made of God can be destroyed. Nothing that breathes in the air of God can be destroyed. No believer in the everlasting power of the kingdom shall ever have to deal with the enemy. For the enemy will see you coming and turn the other way. The enemy will automatically know that you are within the body of God. And he will know that he can no longer deceive you. Broken promises. We know them all too well. But I say unto you, who have had promises broken, dare not close your heart. Dare not close your mind. Dare not put out your light of inspiration, of faith and hope. Dare not turn your back on the God who seeks you. Dare not you allow yourself to begin making your own broken promises. The only way out of this is to turn towards the temple and begin to say, I hear you. Because the forces of God is on its way. And he does not break his promises. There have been angels among the earth that look like man, that act like man, but they talk like the Spirit of God. Now I know you hear my voice. I'm losing power in my voice, but the devil won't stop me from telling you that the day of your broken promises is almost over. For there is a new dawn rising. There is a nation willing to fight on your behalf. In the Gospel of Thomas, he says, out of 1,000, I only need one. Out of 10,000, I only need two. Let the enemy collect all his people that does not abide and live in me. But know when I come, the splendor and the glory of my light shall wipe out enemies of 10,000. And when I draw my sword, it shall slay every enemy. And those who have done not the works of God shall be banished into the pit of despair. Now I close with this. Just because you've been praying all your life to God does not mean he does not hear you. But he has given you the key to pray to him. Not vain prayers or putting your business in the air for the devil to know how to defeat you. He said the Lord's prayer is the prayer to reach me. So let you not pray in vain. but pray to the Father in the one prayer that you must pray. That is in Matthew. If you want to serve God, be in the presence of God, look to a man who knows God. Your broken promises, your past, shall no longer haunt you when you come and stand and say, this is my holy ground. It is built on faith. It is built on wisdom. It is built on truth. I stand forever for the Lord. When you submit yourself to the will of the Father will put inside you the will of Him. And thus when He puts the will of Himself in you, will life become eternal. So let's not let broken promises dictate, define you or your life, and furthermore your destiny.